What's going on, everybody? Thank you for tuning to another episode of Right on Cue Podcast. As always, I'm your host, Logan Chestnut, Small Batch Barbecue. Joining tonight is, once again, myself. I am all by myself, one of the loneliest number. And man, why does this not look so pretty? I'm not looking as pretty. And that's because I am by myself. And I don't have my background. There we go. I didn't have my background. I got the Right on Cue background. Like I said, when I get, left to my own devices, who knows what I get into. But man, guys, I hope you had a great weekend over the past weekend. Some amazing football games, some great contests going on out there. So congratulations to all you who heard your names called, and way to go, guys, for getting out there on the trail. For those who you just cooked, because you are better than me, because I have been slacking and it's killing me. So my next one's the Royal, and I'm counting down the minutes. It's really what's up TNS. There's my boy. It's really killing me to not be cooking a lot this year, and I will not repeat this mistake next year because I miss my fam. I miss my barbecue fam. I hear there's some big exciting news coming down the barrel from some sources I have about some updates in sanctioning and whatnot. So be on the lookout for that. And once we hear confirmation, I will definitely be announcing that on the show. What's up, Daniel? But that's I guess that's kind of all I got for you right now, man. I need to figure out. I'm working on some recipes, guys, and I figured I can't get much worse. I got my chicken good, my pork pretty good. My ribs, I gotta eventually get to a point where they're tolerable. I can't keep turning in pork chops or mush. There's that sweet spot, and I just haven't figured it out. But the people I have on tonight definitely have figured that thing out, because they're cooked the jack and did halfway decent. They did all right. They when it comes to a contest like the jack, it's not. You don't only have to cook perfect. You have to cook perfect and have Lucky Charms on your side, because there's so many good cooks, so many good things. So even hearing your name called at the jack is a high honor, and hearing your name called second to last at the end is even a higher honor. So very impressive, very impressive. My intro tonight sucks. Sorry. See, that's what happens when you leave me by myself. But no, man, I am so excited to have on this team tonight. Fellow Kentucky fan, which that's the most important thing, from the great state of Kentucky, all the way up in New Jersey now, Jersey Shore, Snooki in the house. I'm like I said, it's a privilege and an honor to introduce the lovely couple from Boggs Hog Barbecue. What's up, guys?
Hey,
how's it going?
Good. Sorry, I said the Snooki thing. I'm like, I snuck out. Didn't feel right, Didn't feel right, Snooki. But I mean, that was what, 2005 back then.
That's all I knew about New Jersey before I moved here.
I know, right? Snooki and like fake tans and just bad attitudes. I mean, that's the pop collars and bad tans. That's all it was. What's going on, Golden Blue, man? It's been a minute. Thank y'all for tuning in. But guys, man, thank y'all so much for tuning in. Like I said, you've had a heck of a last month, really. I mean, y'all been on the trail heavy and hard. And unlike Kentucky football, you guys are actually winning some stuff out there, man. So
yeah. Luckily, they're not my inspiration.
Man, the famous saying in Kentucky sports, there's always basketball season. And unfortunately, it's holding true to this year as well. But like I said, basketball is right around the corner, and I am excited for that.
Yeah, there's definitely some good news there. I think we're gonna have a really good team. I'm excited. I'm gonna be a little cautious, but I'm excited. So we'll find out quickly, though. That's the fun part.
All right. Before I get into the barbecue thing, I don't really get to have a lot of Kentucky folks on here, unfortunately. But what was your opinion whenever Mark Pope got announced that he was going to be the head coach of Kentucky basketball? Were you kind of like insulted, like, oh crap, or are you like, there we go?
Panic, absolute panic, because it never works out when the former player comes back to coach his alma mater. It never works out. That's why I'm still cautiously optimistic. I was happy with year one, but I'm nervous. It never works. So
he's saying all the right things and doing all the right things.
Yeah,
he does.
So, and he's making it about Kentucky. It's kind of like a 180 from our previous regime with Cal. Cal kind of took us out of the Billy Gillespie era and took us back to relevancy and coolness, and then Mark Pope's taking over and bringing us back to '96. The comeback Cats. So that's what I'm hoping. So he's already won one championship there. So I was hoping he can bring two, and we definitely got some money behind us. Them horse traders and bourbon drinkers definitely open up their wallets and their hearts and are paying for this good season. So cheers to them, and cheers to Kentucky's basketball, man. That's right. Go Cats. Anyways, guys, thank y'all, like I said, for coming on from New Jersey, being here from Kentucky. For the people who don't know you, like I said, a lot of my fans, I have fans from all over, but a lot of people are, we're kind of the Southern and Midwest regions, not a lot of Northeast recognition. So for those who don't know you, tell the people who you are and how long you've been in this lovely sport.
Yeah. So I'm Greg Boggs.
Everyone calls me Carl.
Carl?
Yeah.
Fair enough.
It's Carol, but everyone calls me Carl.
Carl, I like Carl. Carl's a good name.
Yeah, everybody knows her as Carl. So so we're both from Kentucky. Moved up to New Jersey for my job and have been up here for almost 13 years. We started cooking barbecue in 2018. I started judging probably in 2014 or 15, and finally jumped in and competed and kind of hooked from the get-go. I mean, we were just she sent me a picture this morning. I guess it was this weekend.
Yeah.
In 2018, we got our first call. We got a 5th place rib call.
There you go.
At Booby Q in Rehoboth Beach, Delaware.
Couldn't be more excited.
Maybe still one of the happiest days of my life. We had done 4 comps or something like that and hadn't heard our name called and was starting to get kind of discouraged. And what a way to set the hook for next year, the last comp of the year, to get a 5th place rib call. And I was floating all weekend. That was fun.
Dude, absolutely. Everybody, it's like anything, relationships, barbecue. You always remember your first, and it's just like that, and it's usually not the best either. It's like the 5th place. Like my first was like what I get. It was a non-sanctioned, so I don't count. But it's like a 3rd place. Port call, and dude, we did more drinking than we did cooking. And so hearing your name called, it was like, holy crap, I won $50 in a ribbon. That's the most expensive $50 in a ribbon I ever had, because then it set the hook and got us to where we are today. So did you guys kind of do the traditional route of like barbecue pit masters, kind of like, oh, that's cool, or did you guys how'd you hear about competition barbecue? Because honestly, us crazy folks, a lot of people don't know it's out there.
I had heard about it on a trip to Kansas City, and somebody was talking about it and talking about how you can see the smoke from the interstate and there's so many teams cooking, but didn't really know what it was. But yeah, I mean, I'm like everybody. A lot of other people is the barbecue pit masters kind of got that in, kind of in my head and thinking about it. And then I was on a work trip to Kansas City at a conference, and they had some like extra classes you could take, and one of them was to become a certified judge. So I did that in Kansas City, and then started judging in this area, and then ultimately realized that we could potentially do this, because I was still thinking like big trailers and RVs and whatnot, and I was like, I don't want to get into that. But kind of saw what you could do and decided to jump in. And once we did our first one, it was full speed ahead. There were no brakes. Just took off running.
Absolutely. So what kind of equipment are we working with? Like what's your setup going into a contest?
So right now, for the last couple of years, I'm cooking on a Humphreys long weekender and then a Gateway drum. Okay. And that's it.
Okay. What is up with the Northeast guys? You and, like, say, Gillespie are the only two I know that cooks on the Humphreys. Is it just that northern magic that goes into those things, or what's going on?
I mean, they're definitely good smokers. I mean, I cook brisket, pork, and chicken on that long weekender, and those are my three most consistent. Ribs always kill me. Ribs
Me
are my
and you both preach, brother.
But those Humphrey smokers, man, especially in the Northeast, and we learned recently they're popular up in the upper Midwest. The weather doesn't affect them. Like, you can cook with them anywhere. They're insulated water cookers. You can run them wet or dry, and they're consistent. They give you the same results every time, and they're just it makes life easy.
We even did one in the snow, and that thing just chugged along.
Yeah. I mean, they're solid cookers.
Yeah. There's another Humphreys user.
Yeah, I've got a battle box too. I just don't cook on it at comps right now.
I was trying to think, man. It's like, we talk on the show a lot, like the fads, or not the fads, but kind of the waves that we have in competition barbecue. Back in the day, obviously it's all homemade pits and stuff like that. Then it kind of went to box cookers. Insulated box cookers, kind of like the Humphreys and the Fast Eddies, and I can never think of it. It's made in Georgia. Backwoods, there you go, and stuff like that. And then it transformed again into, I guess, pellet cookers made a little rise there for a little bit, and then now it's cans, and just there's never looked back from cans. I'm very curious as to what the next thing's gonna be, because I'm sure I'll need to buy one.
Seems like it's Outlaws.
Oh, Outlaw! Well, I know. I mean, at some point, there's always been like some form of.
I feel like everybody I know is buying an Outlaw right now,
or a pellet cooker.
Yeah, I mean, everybody knows Outlaw, but I mean, before that, it was Jambos. I mean, it's like those kind of like heavily well-made, insulated offsets are not new to the scene. Those have probably been the most consistent thing throughout, the last 20 years or whatever. This stuff like that. But I was trying to think, besides that, the next, phase of cookers, what they're going to be. So I don't know what it is, but I'm excited to find out, because I do it. When I go to see a cooking, like a grill store, it's my eyes light up. I'm like, show me everything. Tell me all about it.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. I'm a nerd when it comes to that kind of stuff. But no, man. So you cook on the Humphreys, you cook on the can. So what's kind of the layout? You said you cooked so are you a hybrid cook? Do you start everything on the can and then you move it to the Humphreys, or do you start on the Humphreys and?
Nope. Everything, those three start and stay on the Humphreys, and then ribs starts and stays on the Gateway.
Okay. Yep. Awesome.
Try to keep it very simple. That's my motto. Once I got everything very complicated and confusing and hard to keep track of, I decided, let's make this a little simpler. So my effort for the last couple of years is try to simplify as much as I can, just make it easier. And that's been a big part of kind of our consistency lately.
Sure. So have you always started on the Humphreys? Like, what has kind of been your progression? Have you started there and stayed there, or have you kind of bounced around like a lot of us do?
I've been consistent on the Humphreys. Our first comp was just on a highly modified Oklahoma Joe offset and a couple homemade drums. And then I went out and bought a battle box. And so I was cooking on a battle box and then a homemade drum. And I stuck with that for a year and a half. And then I got the long weekender and cooked the two Humphreys together for a couple years. And then more recently, I've done just the long weekender and the drum.
I got you. So being in the Northeast, I mean, definitely weather plays a huge part in the cooks up there. I'm sure it gets colder a lot sooner than it does, obviously, here in Tennessee and Kentucky. Did that kind of play a part in your kind of decision on what cookers you're using, or you just saw that and you're like, that looks kind of cool, and I'm going to stick with that?
I think back then in 2018, it was kind of heavy influence of what I was seeing in this area, and you saw a lot of Humphreys and backwoods and stomps or all those kind of just the big insulated smokers. I mean, it makes sense. Yeah, we definitely early and late in the season we can run in some cold weather, but I think it was just more kind of that was kind of the trend back then. There weren't a lot of drums. I probably remember seeing first like Gateway starting in 2019, but that was kind of where I saw them, and I'd say that's what I wanted, and I found a good deal on the battle box and been rolling with Humphreys ever since.
Right. I mean, we've seen, throughout all competition barbecue, and you guys cook a lot. I mean, any cooker can win. I mean, you've seen, pellet cookers win, you've seen cans win, outlaws win. I mean, in any combination or sort, I've seen win. Yep. I mean, it doesn't have to be expensive, but I mean, it just all of them win. What do you think is more important, the cooker or the consistency and learning your cooker, whenever it comes to for competition barbecue?
Oh, I think it's absolutely learning your cooker. I mean, the more experience, I think it's just more experience you have cooking competitions, the better. There's no better practice than cooking a comp. You're getting the feedback, you're getting the, what happened during the day, what happened during the cook. And obviously there's factors that do change within that, but I mean, just cooking and getting to know what you're doing and comfortable and having confidence is probably the biggest thing.
Absolutely. So did you guys jump in? So did y'all start non-sanctioned, or did you jump straight into the pool with all the big boys, or did you go backyard?
Big boys.
Just jumped right in. Yeah. I didn't know there was a backyard. I just saw I guess I knew, but I don't know. I never thought that was an option. We just jumped straight into Masters.
That's fair. Yeah. So jumping into the Masters, starting doing competition barbecue, I'm sure you had a little cockiness. And you're like, man, people love my barbecue. Like the whole street my mom loves my barbecue. I know what I'm doing and going to this thing. Tell me about your first comp you cooked and your teeth kicked in moment.
Well, the teeth kicked in moment was it was mid-May, and you talk about the weather around here. It was middle of May, and I think the high was 41, and it rained the entire time. And I'm cooking on a highly modified Oklahoma Joe offset. So I was just sitting there all night feeding, fire to it, just trying to keep the thing warm. And the second mistake I made was I told myself and her, like, this is like, we're here to try to compete. We're not just going to get drunk. And so we didn't bring much of any alcohol. And man, I wish I'd brought some, because a couple beers would have been nice. Sitting up all night by the fire.
I don't think he'll ever live that down, because he limited me to 6 drinks, and I don't drink beer. So the next day they had a beer truck, so he was going to get beer, and I was out. I was just SOL.
Had we known better, we could have just gone and asked somebody for a drink or a beverage. They would have given it to us. We just didn't know, because we didn't know.
Yeah, of course. But come on, I'm a little disappointed, guys. Being from Kentucky, how do you not have a bottle of bourbon? It's kind of our mantra and religion down here.
Right. Thank you.
That is now a necessity. But yeah, it's always available. It's always in the trailer. It's usually in the freezer.
Freezer! Come on. Yeah. That's breaking the Kentucky commandments down here, man.
No, but that's just the barbecue. That's just how you drink at a barbecue conference. Because you can't give me a bottle of your bourbon that's been sitting in the parking lot.
I do it all the time. I do it all the time.
Me one time, because the bottle was sitting on the back of the tailgate. I wasn't thinking about the fact that it's a black tailgate. I took that shot. I felt that go down. And I felt it sit for hours.
It's so bad. Hot bourbon is so bad.
Yes,
it's so bad.
That's why it goes in the freezer at barbecue comps.
Refrigerator, at least. No. It gets too syrupy when it gets cold. Well, I guess it depends on what proof it is. No, yeah, definitely. I'll walk around when we cook at Smoke on the Shores and stuff like that. I'll walk around strategically to my friends and pass around. I have a bottle in my hand. I'm like, hey, come on, do a shot. Come on, do a shot. You don't need to prep right now. Do a shot. It's part strategy, man. Yeah. It's I give them that Kentucky hug,
Exactly.
We have our buddy's Pig and Whiskey that competes, but he always drinks bourbon.
He does.
So I fixed his shirt for him one time, and I made a Pig and Whiskey with the whiskey crossed out and bourbon underneath it.
Yes, ma'am. Because all bourbon is whiskey, but not all whiskey is bourbon.
There you go.
And there's a big difference. Jack Daniels is not with bourbon. No. Anyways, I'm getting off. But I love you, Jack. Thank you, and you guys do too.
We have an interesting relationship with Jack Daniels.
I have a love-hate with it too. No, we have a good question from one of our guests. our boy Travis said, what pitmaster do you look up to or follow that has set the tone for what you kind of strive to be? Like, who's somebody in the barbecue world that when you start off or kind of got into it that you're like, man, those guys are kicking butt, or man, I like how they handle things?
I mean, other than just saying the guys on Pitmatch, because that's really all I knew. When I started cooking locally and would start kind of when I learned, how to follow scores and where they're posted and everything. That time, the big names back then that I remember hearing a lot of was obviously Urkel and Uncle Pigs.
Sure. R.I.P.
R.I.P.
Dante's Inferno. We heard his name all the time. Didn't know who he was. Turned out he's an okay guy.
Yeah. Wolf Revenge.
Love you, Dante. Who else? Pig and Whiskey was kind of new. They were always making noise. Three Eyes. That was the first class I took because Michael Fay, Apocalypse Now.
Who was kind of guy that when you first get into it, because we all have, like I said, whenever you go to a pro comp, especially you guys kind of just going head first, it's kind of intimidating seeing some of the big rigs and fancy smokers and everybody's kind of clicked up. I mean, it's just a natural thing. Like, who was kind of the first one to kind of break the ice with you guys and kind of like lend y'all a hand or kind of give you some advice or just kind of welcomed you in?
Pig and Whiskey, definitely. I mean, our very first comp, we showed up a disaster. I mean, he already talked about the smoker, but we showed up in a big giant U-Haul truck with a ramp.
Sure. Just bring the kitchen sink.
Oh yeah, we could have had a yard sale.
Yeah. Always.
I don't remember if it was Brant or Josh, but one of them was like, listen, put a sticker on anything you don't use and don't bring that ever again.
That's so smart.
And they also helped us with the smokers themselves because we were, struggling to get them out of the gigantic U-Haul that we had on this little ramp. And they came out with plyboard. I don't know why they had plyboard, but they just pulled plyboard out of nowhere.
Dude, pitmasters have a Mary Poppins bag when it comes to like stuff. Like, you never know, like if you need something at a barbecue, if you have car trouble, the best place in the world to be is a barbecue competition because they have everything.
Yep, everything. And they had plywood because it was raining. Sure. And that's their first. I learned. I've done that many times now. Is I take plywood with me if I know I'm going to be in grass and it's going to be raining all weekend.
Just whatever you do, don't throw the plyboard in the trash. We didn't do this, but someone
we did throw the plyboard in the trash.
Oh, we threw that. Okay. So don't be the team that throws the plyboard in there, but also don't be the team that throws ashes into said dumpster, because then you'll have a dumpster fire.
That's usually what the judges call my turn-ins, but no, absolutely. I have seen one or two of dumpster. You know what though? It makes them so clean afterwards. Like the dumpster is like all the gunk and rats are dead, and they're so clean that they should be happy for the quote unquote cleansing, fire and brimstone style. Old Southern Baptist church right there. We just cleanse it out, and it's a new. So it's all good, man. No, absolutely. So what, like starting off in the barbecue, especially back then, like where did you guys kind of pull your recipes from? Like starting off, no one knows kind of which direction to go to. You're kind of just winging it. Did y'all kind of make your own stuff, or did you just kind of watch some YouTube videos and kind of just nerd out and see like I did? Like, did you run the Malcolm Reed recipe like a lot of us did?
So I was a little more stubborn my first time out. I thought I was smarter than everybody else. I knew I knew what some of the stuff was being used. I didn't know all of it, but I had seen some of the videos. I'd seen some of the pitmaster stuff. I knew kind of what the food was supposed to look like. Yeah. And I had a decent idea of what it should have tasted like, but I went about it the wrong way. I thought I could outsmart people and I couldn't. And then I learned and I kind of saw and I made that adjustment and went to the commercial rubs and sauces and started figuring out the profile. And the funny thing is because I had judged, but it was like a lot of times what I judged was all over the place. There was not a lot of consistency. So for me, it was hard to kind of figure out what was being looked for, because you talked to the judges after, and there was a lot of mixed feedback, and it was. I feel like now, because I do taste quite a few people's food when we're out throughout the year, and I feel like everybody's tastes the same. At least the people I taste that are getting, that are doing well and getting calls. It's like everything tastes very similar to what I'm turning in. So I don't know if that's changed over the year. I don't judge much anymore, so I haven't really sat down at a judge's table in a couple of years. So not real sure, but it took me a little while to kind of figure out the overall profile, and just realizing that the stuff's out there. Just find it, mix it properly, and then hit tenderness, and you can figure it out.
What do you think it is more now? Because I mean, back in the day, people say it's a tenderness game, and if you nail that, you're pretty good shape. I think it's actually flipped to a taste game. I think the flavor profile now is the most important, followed by tenderness, obviously, and then appearance. What's kind of been your, like, coming from a judge's background to this, which I think is smart because you actually knew what's going on and what it should look like coming into it. What is kind of your opinion on that? Like, when you're judging, what did you weigh heavier?
I mean, I still think it's a tenderness, but I think for some meats it's questionable. It's kind of hard to figure out what they're expecting tenderness, but once you figure it out and you learn what they're doing, if you can nail that tenderness every time, it tastes better. Because I can always see, because I don't change my recipes much at all. Like I've been cooking the same flavor profile for 4 years, probably just minor adjustments here and there. And so I can kind of see when I know I undercooked something, or I feel like it got tight before I turn it, I can see my taste scores go down. So I do think it's still tenderness. I think you still have to have that pop of flavor. You have to have that balance, like that really good balance, but intense, impactful taste. And that can be hard to not get carried away with finishing rubs and stuff like that. And but I still think it's a tenderness. I mean, that to me, that's what the competition is. It's about nailing tenderness, and because I think everybody, there's enough recipes out there. There's all the rubs and sauces taste pretty much the same. People are mixing them in the same sort of fashion using different brands, but it comes down to, and appearance is a big part of it too, because you can win with an ugly box, but you got a lot better chance if it looks good.
Absolutely. What so let's break down your week. I'm always curious about, because you guys are pretty hot and heavy as far as on the competition. Like, what's your kind of week look at? Like, do y'all have are y'all very like regimented as far as like what you do on what day? I said it wrong. It's an incorrect word, but regimented. Thank you. About what you do throughout the week. Like, is it like Monday we're doing this, Tuesday we're doing this, Saturday we're crying because we lost in football? Like, what is your what's your week look like coming up to a comp?
Yeah, usually, typically Saturday, Sunday, I'll go and run errands, get charcoal, get whatever I need, non-perishables. Good charcoal. And anything else like that I need to get, either restock or just replenish. Then Mondays, I'm usually in, like I did today. We've got a double this weekend in Jackson, New Jersey. So I made sauces, injections, brines, wraps, finish rubs, made sure all my rubs, I kind of got the trailer set up, all the dishes put back away. And tomorrow, I picked up chicken and pork this morning, although they didn't have all the pork, so I got to go back tomorrow, and I'll probably have to go back on Wednesday too. It's a brutal cycle that I'm going to get out of and start ordering pork online, but that's for another day. So tomorrow I'll trim chicken. Wednesday I'll trim pork and brisket, and then Thursday just kind of packing myself. And then we have a restaurant we like to go to Thursday nights before comp and go have a nice little dinner and a couple drinks, and then
nice Peruvian dinner.
And then we
fancy
set and ready to hit the road Friday morning.
That's cool, man. So let me ask your opinion. I'm not shigging, but shig adjacent. What is your opinion on pre-mixing injections ahead of time? Or do you do that, or do you like the powder form and then add water or whatever liquid you do at the contest?
So the way I like to say it is I make my flavorful liquids today, and I bag those off, and they're in the fridge. So when I get on site, I'll mix my flavorful liquids but make it meaty, and then they're ready to inject.
Okay. Okay, so you're okay with doing all that? You just don't add the phosphates.
I just don't add the phosphates until I'm on site.
Yeah, so you're okay with all your flavorful liquids, aka injections, before just add phosphates at the end. Because I don't know if it's true or not. I mean, I know a lot of people that add phosphates, on a Wednesday, make all their injections with the phosphates and whatnot, and they swear it doesn't really matter. It probably doesn't, but I've heard mixed things about when to add it, when not to. That's kind of what I do. I usually will bag up my injections with the phosphates and all the measurements exactly in Ziploc bags, and then when I get there, I'll just pour it into the liquid, and then stir it up, and then do it that way. Do you think?
Yeah, I know a lot of people
better, or do you think that's better, or do you think it's better for the injections to kind of meld over time?
I think it's better the way I do it. That's why I do it that way.
Obviously.
I think personally that's the way you should do it from a scientific standpoint, from the way phosphates work, and there's other factors, but clearly, a recipe, as long as you do it the same way every time, and that's the key to that. I do the same things every day of a comp week because I know how they're going to react, or at least I can have some sort of predictability on it. So if you always make them on Wednesdays with the phosphates and it's working, then it's working.
Keep rolling.
So
yeah.
No point in changing. I actually a couple years ago made a mistake in how I measured out my chicken brine. It's not right, but it's been working, and so why change it? I'm using too much.
Run with that
I'm
mistake.
wasting money. I know I can fix it. I know I can back off and do it just a little bit different. It'll work perfectly, but why change it? It's working. So
that's right.
I'm not that dumb to just change something because it's working.
Hey, man, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right?
Exactly.
No, that's kind of how I am. I don't know. I go back and forth about the two because, how it is. That's something you learn the more you cook contests. The prep is the key to, I think, a successful contest. The less you have to think about when you get to a contest, I think the better off you are. So you're trimming everything ahead of time. You're how many did you cook thighs or legs?
I cook legs.
You cook legs. How many legs you got at a comp? Do you do 16, or do you used to kind of smaller?
No, I cook 16. Yeah,
I got you. And you're doing 4 racks of ribs and stuff like that too?
Usually 3 racks of ribs, 3 butts, and then 1 brisket.
There you go. Finish it out. I'm not trying to get trade secrets here, but I'm just kind of curious about about what kind of, because I start off doing 6. So I do thighs, and I hate trimming thighs, but I'm OCD about them. But I started off doing 16, and then I realized I can only fit 9 in a pan. So why am I cooking more than 9? Because I was throwing away stuff. So now I literally trim 10, and then I'll just toss 1 before it won't make me feel so bad, versus throwing 7 away that are perfectly fine. So that's kind of helped me out because I always feel like the least I cook, the more I can freak out and concentrate on those proteins, versus if I have 4 racks of ribs, I'm like, oh, one of these bad boys surely doesn't suck. They usually do, but eventually I'll hit one. It's oh, this is pretty decent.
Yeah, you gotta. Whatever it is, you just gotta find what you're comfortable with handling and managing. And I've just found that I prefer 3 racks of ribs on the drum, and I've cooked 4 before. I've done just as bad with 4 as I've done with 3. I've done just as good with, I've done good once or twice with 3. So, hey, let's stick with it. Ribs are terrible, but we're working on it.
It's a shame that was the first call we ever got. Now we can't cook them.
It's
funny how that works. It's funny how that works.
Yeah, I've been cooking ribs every weekend for the last 2 months. I think I've finally gotten something figured out. So,
you better knock on wood.
Knock on ruin it. You ruined it. All that hard work down the pooper right there.
Again, it's all about process. It's all just about getting the process right and then letting it do its thing.
Awesome. So we're talking before the show, kind of how do you guys lay out your schedule going into a comp season? Are you looking for more strategy wise for points, or are you looking more of destinations, or is there certain ones you want to hit every time, or how do you kind of plan that out?
So it's different. It's changing more and more every year. This year, the only comp that I am guaranteeing you I'm going to do, unless something happens, is I'll be at Wildwood for the New Jersey State Barbecue Championship because I am determined to win that competition. That's yeah. So we'll definitely be there. Other than that, I don't really know yet.
I want to do a Canadian comp.
Yeah, we'll probably go up to Canada this year. Maybe we got a buddy that's putting one on Mother's Day weekend, and then there's another one in August. So we'll see if we can't get up there. I've got a couple. One of our favorites I can't do because of work. But I don't know yet. Not sure. Not even sure how many we're going to cook at this point next year.
I'll still show up at them though because I have so much fun.
Yeah. Well, definitely being a husband-wife team, definitely I feel like gives you're both into it, so it's something. It's more of a bonding thing and something you can do together. Because me and my wife, I try to get her to do it, and she's like, nah. I don't want to smell like smoke and get up early. And this is kind of like, what do I do here? I don't want to touch that stuff. And but the people that I feel like they're super successful and had the longevity of it is people like you, the couples that are kind of doing, bonding over this. I'm sure she's probably more competitive than you are in certain things, in certain aspects. And, she keeps you in line. I mean, I already know this. I don't know you guys very personal, but I already know she's the boss. I know Carl's in charge.
Yeah. I mean, if you ever went to especially a local comp around here and you heard our name get called, you would think she was the head cook. She might be. Who knows? This is all just her being a puppet. But she gets a lot of love and respect from the barbecue family around here. Everybody loves her. And
I get a lot more credit than I'm deserved. I should just be the chief social officer, and that's it. I do all the drinking and all of the hanging out with everyone.
You got the kale boxes.
And unfortunately, I cannot get away from those kale boxes.
Yeah. I have a partner just for that.
Same. Exactly. That's the only reason I'm married.
Well, poor Urkel, he thought in his passing he would get away from kale boxes. But now I have shot glasses that say Urkel on them. And I always use shot glasses when I make my kale boxes. So now Urkel is still stuck doing boxes. Poor guy.
He can't get away from it, even in the afterlife. He's still
absolutely not.
Yeah, and that was great seeing his posse down there at the Jack representing him.
Yeah, he was only 15 minutes away from us. It's a hard loss.
Yeah, absolutely. Man, I mean, being in the Northeast, it's not, let's just be honest, it's not a barbecue. You don't think barbecue when you think Northeast. Yeah. I mean, but there's so many heavy hitters up there that come out of that region. Like, what is kind of like the scene looking like up there? Because I mean, you got what is it, Wolf's Revenge? That's one of the big boys. Are they still doing it? They're still going strong, right?
Yep.
Yeah, they're Wolf's Revenge. You guys, Bill. I mean,
Fire down below. They won.
Fire at the end of the day.
Fire at the end of the day. Yeah.
Fire at the end of the day. They're 5th, I think, right now. Hot Mess is 8th. Bill's 10th or somewhere in that range. I mean, it's it's competitive up here. There's not a ton of us. There's not a ton of comps. We all show up the same place. Yeah,
you're just beating everybody up.
And it's a battle, and you got to come ready to cook. There's no easy comps around here. Even there's a comp in Bel Air that's the same weekend as the Jack, but don't think that just because a bunch of teams are at the Jack, you can show up to Bel Air either. I mean, there's people every weekend that are going to be there and can beat you. It's right, and I think it just makes you better because you got to keep working and grinding and to try to just get a chance.
Right. So like in the Northeast, like you cook in the South and whatever, and obviously you cook in Tennessee, and your flavor profiles hit. Up in the Jersey area and whatnot, are the flavor profiles? How would you like compare them to like the sweetness of Kansas City, or do you think they're all very similar?
So I would say from a competition standpoint, they're similar. I will say that we've gone further north, and I will sweeten it up a little bit the further north I go, especially up in the northern New York, New Hampshire, that area. I might go a little more maple, but I've not made any big changes.
We've competed Oklahoma.
Yeah, and same thing. Like we've competed in Oklahoma and Kansas City and North Carolina and Tennessee.
Yeah.
Like it tends to what we do tends to work across the board for the most part. I mean, we've had some struggles in Virginia from time to time, but
there's always that one state.
Yeah, there's always something down there. But I mean, that's just because there's like 50 teams and they're all, they're all qualified for the Royal and have jack draws. So it's like you just can't you just can't win. It's just hard.
I know.
But,
so yeah, well, I was always curious, like the Northeast. I talked to Bill whenever Bill's on the show about flavor profiles because we've had people from all over the country and on the show and really I think the only place Texas, a little more pepper heavy, a little more spice on there. West Coast definitely a little more spice than what they're used to around here. But I mean, for the most part, I feel like Northeast, Midwest, I mean, all that it's pretty much just Kansas City style. I mean, go to diabetes and then come back a hair, and then that's that where you need to be at.
Sweet with a little bit of heat. Yep.
Yeah. So let's talk about our like the region we're from. Like I said, the great state of Kentucky. What is kind of your opinion? Because Tennessee, they're known for some barbecue. That they're a region, and Kansas City. Like we're surrounded by some amazing regional barbecue, and I feel like Kentucky is a black hole of bar. We got burgoo, but I mean,
Burgoo's
mutton.
Delicious though.
Burgoo is amazing. And mutton, I've had like we've had Kentucky has two famous barbecue restaurants, and one of them's famous because of the buffet, and they're both in the same city.
Yeah.
I mean Moonlight and Old Hickory is about the only thing you ever hear of when it comes to Kentucky barbecue. What is it? Why do you think Kentucky's kind of like falling behind the 8-ball when it comes to kind of the barbecue tradition?
I don't know. That's a good question.
We're too focused on bourbon and horses.
Yeah, maybe we're just, I don't know. That's a good question. I don't, I know the history of barbecue goes back, in those areas that are famous for it for a long time and many, many reasons. Yeah. But I'm not sure. Maybe just Kentucky of their geographic location or whatever just never really caught on. I don't think we are particularly known for raising a lot of, cattle or
good hogs.
That might have been part of it. We had more of the, like she mentioned, maybe it's more because we had more horse farms than we had pasture land. I don't know.
I've always wondered about that because I want to be proud for. I'm trying to be proud for where we're from, and the horse racing and tobacco. We're big Kentucky tobacco and fried chicken. We got your butts beat.
Yeah, we gotta get the hot brown national. We gotta get the hot brown national.
Sweet. All right, all right. I want to ask you guys. So Kentuckian to Kentuckians, why don't hot browns hit in the turkey? I've done hot browns every time I've done turkey.
I have to.
And they never freaking hit. They never hit.
I did okay once with hot brown, like 11th, I think. So just missed the top 10 with a little hot brown slider, like a little.
Yeah, man. It's so like. Have you ever had like a legit hot brown from the Brown Hotel?
Oh yeah.
It is damn near heaven, especially if you have the morning after disease.
Yeah, and the next best one's Ramsey's in Lexington.
Yes, Ramsey's is solid, solid. But yeah, it always pisses me off. I'm like, sweet, I want to bring a little Kentucky to this barbecue, and once again, it kicks my ass because they never hit.
Yeah,
and then
Kentucky quail.
Oh, I did hit they did. So the comp we're doing this weekend. A couple years ago, they had a category called barbecue from my homeland. And
you're like, shit.
Yeah, the theory was you bring something, wherever you're from, whatever, and he gave you an index card. It was like a dessert turn-in, so it was a platter, but they gave you an index card. You could actually write what you made and why you made it. And so just to be different, instead of fried chicken, I did Kentucky fried quail. So I did a half a quail, boned it out, and fried half a quail with some cheddar grits and collard greens. Wrote a little BS story about how me and my grandmother used to cook fried quail together and all this stuff.
My grandma don't cook.
No, she did, but we never had quail. Just wrote just a big, fanciful story, filled up the entire index card with this loving story about me and my grandmother.
The little tear.
And that was fun.
Yeah.
Nice.
Now, dude, that kind of meal, you're invited to the cookout. You know what I mean? I mean, you get invited to the cookout down there, man. Collard greens and some quail, fried quail, man. That sounds so good. I can't get away from fried chicken, and it makes me. I kind of feel like I'm a sellout, but I'm like, everybody's like, everywhere I go in the country, like, where are you from? I'm like, Kentucky. Oh, KFC. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
And my family's from like London, so I mean that's the original, Colonel's Country, cafe. And no, I can't bring myself to eat KFC very often. It's like let's talk about that. Like, so barbecue. What's your opinion on eating it? Do you hard pass or?
We differ on this.
So I am most times at comps now. I don't even eat my own food. I will taste it and I'll spit it out. I'll still eat the brisket because I do still like brisket. My brisket just like, I don't know. It's just, yeah, it's starting to not be, I'm starting not to be a big fan of it. I like when I go to a new place, or if I'm going to a place that's known for something, like that's when I want to eat Texas barbecue. I want to eat I don't want all the injection. I don't want all the au jus and all the rich, heavy, and the sauce. Like it's the competition's its own thing, and I'm doing that for the competition piece of it.
Sure.
And I don't eat a ton of barbecue. I'm just trying to, I'm getting older. I'm trying to be healthy and not eat that much, brisket in general. But I mean, still, we went to Kansas City back in the summer to hang out with some friends, and we went to 3 or 4 different, like, just traditional barbecue places. So good. Just a clean burn in that's not, just caked in sauce.
Out the yin yang,
a nice, slice of a point. Like, it's just good. That's what I like. We might try to go to Texas this year and do a little Central Texas tour. Go
to Burnt Bean.
Yeah, no, that's what I've heard. I've heard it's really good.
We did a whole Texas month on this show. Literally 4 top pit masters from all over the state. And I asked them at the end, I'm like, if you're going to have a barbecue restaurant in Texas, where would you go? And every single one of them said Ernesto down there in Burnt Bean. So that's got to be number one. And then, you got to see Miss Tootsie. Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to go, and part of me too wants to just go to the small places that don't have big lines, and just find some off the wall, just kind of hole in the wall, whatever, in the middle of nowhere. But I don't know. We'll see. That's a trip we may try to plan either this.
Are you like me? Like, I love going to barbecue joints and I never get like the traditional like 3. Like, I never get pulled pork, I never get ribs, I never get brisket. But if they have like a cranberry jalapeno sausage, homemade sausage, like I'm getting that. Or like my boy Zep down in Houston's got the Ethiopian style barbecue. Or like I love like any kind of weird stuff. If I go to a barbecue restaurant, like if it's weird, like that's what I'm getting.
I
want to get some weird stuff.
Yeah, there's a place in Wildwood, the comp we do in July. There's Wildwood's Barbecue in North Wildwood. They do smoked mushrooms and they do smoked beets, and it's like cold pickled beets with like goat cheese and pistachios and olive oil. Like, but they're it's delicious. But yeah, not your traditional barbecue side, but very good.
What's your opinion on smoke fried ribs? Have you ever had smoke fried party ribs?
What is that when you cut them up?
You smoke the ribs, dry, do dry rub on them, smoke the ribs, and then you deep fry them towards the end.
Oh, I've never had them.
Oh, check it out. Highly recommend. Like I said, I mean, smoke fried turkey is the best way, but I mean, smoke fried ribs, it's solid, very, very, very solid. What is all right? So you're going to a barbecue restaurant. What is one thing absolutely will never order, and what is one thing that you will judge a barbecue restaurant on? Like, what is? I mean, usually it's the sides, right? I feel like everybody can do the ribs. Like, what sides are you expecting at a barbecue restaurant, and what are you going to judge harshly?
Oh, I mean, I'm going to judge their coleslaw for sure, because that's one of the easiest things, and that's the easiest thing to tell if they're making it or not.
Vinegar or mayonnaise?
I like kind of a mix of the two. But I would prefer more vinegar than mayo. But
yes,
I I could go either way, but as long as their sides are good, I'm gonna have a little bit more leeway if the meat's not great, because I know maybe it's a bad day, but if there's the side show, I would always be consistent, or at least you would hope. But I'm gonna get if they do collard greens or some kind of greens, I'm probably gonna get those. Baked beans, I'm kind of, I don't know. If I can see them, I may make a decision. Sometimes I don't know.
How black does the pot need to be?
Oh yeah.
That's some pork and beans right out the can. I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
I had a restaurant one time. They called them redneck beans. It was literally pork and beans out the can and cut up hot dogs. And honestly, it wasn't bad.
I mean, I ate that as a kid and it was delicious.
Oh, 100%.
Oh my redneck, right?
I feel like Sheldon from The Big Bang Theory. Like cut up hot dogs and spaghetti, and that is real Italian.
Oh, there you go.
Dude, what is all right, let me ask you guys' opinion. So y'all do desserts when you do contests?
Not typically.
We used to do everything and anything available. We don't as much anymore. She's done dessert a couple times and has had some success. She's got a 180 under her belt. But we don't typically anymore do dessert. So like for the Jack, we brought some hired guns to do dessert for us, and
that's right.
Mike and Denise Moran with Blue Eyed. They although we were in 10th place, it was still a perfect 180.
Yeah.
So they did an awesome job with dessert. It's on our Facebook if you want to go take a look at it.
Dude, the board that they made for our dessert turn-in, it was 2 pieces of cut wood with little bottles of Jack spread between the 2 boards, and then he epoxied the 2 boards and the shot glasses, or not shot glasses, the little bottles together. I mean, it was amazing.
Yeah,
I know. I want to do like something bourbon themed whenever I finally make it to Jack. I feel like I'll get like shunned upon. I
did tell him, I was like, if these little bottles were made of Kentucky bourbon, you would not be going home with your board. You would be going home with me.
100%. Well, like, I ain't gonna lie, I've cheated before. You ever go to a contest like there's a whiskey sponsor, something like that. They give you something, you have to make something with the whiskey. I'm like, oh, it's usually good stuff. I'm like, that stuff's for mixing. I use the good stuff. I use the Buffalo Trace. It's a good stuff. Now, so what is one thing, like when it comes to barbecue, like what is one thing that you wish would, like, let's talk about proteins. So obviously we know the traditional 3 proteins. What is one protein you would take away, and what is something else you would replace it with?
I mean, part of me just says ribs because they've been such a problem. But honestly,
I knew you were going to say ribs.
I
thought you would say chicken.
Honestly, yeah, I think it would be chicken. And for KCBS, I would either change it to half chicken or I would get rid of it altogether. I just don't see the point in chicken. It's so small, it cooks so quickly. I'd rather throw in like a beef rib or turkey leg, or half chicken or something.
Yeah, go CBA style. You're saying essentially. Yeah. So like replace the thigh with some tiger stripe half chickens.
Yeah, maybe that's just me being bored and want to cook something different, or sausage or something.
I know. I would get rid of brisket and do tri-tip because I feel like A, it's cheaper, B, it tastes better, and it's just more approachable.
Yeah, I like brisket though. That'd be a hard one for me.
I know. All my Texas fans are like, puh.
Yeah.
I spit on this show.
The only thing that made them madder than having first place brisket from the Jack come to New Jersey is you saying you don't like brisket.
No, I really pissed them off on the show before. I've equated Texas chili to sloppy joes. There's no difference.
Oh.
I mean, unless you put beans in it, it's just a sloppy joe.
Well, I mean, and let's put it out there. Cincinnati chili is better than Texas chili anyway.
That's right. Skyline, baby. Conies.
Yeah, I had to make it up here not too long ago just to show people what it was because they didn't know.
Oh, Skyline's where it's at, guys. And if you say Gold Star, I was going to kick you off. No, it's funny that they put a little cinnamon in your hot water chili. Like I'm from Hopkinsville, so we're famous for Farrell's burgers, and that's a big. I mean, I don't know if you ever heard of Farrell's, but it's a big thing here in West Kentucky, and that hot water chili and some onions and some saltines, man. That's many a meals for me.
Yeah,
many a meals. No, but let's moving forward. Like I said, what is like if you guys had a meet Everest, like what or a meet Rushmore, like who's gonna be on your meet Rushmore? Like who, if you could put like 4 people on, we talked about a little earlier, but if you could put 4 people that you think have reached the top of the barbecue, heights, who is that for you?
If we make more kind of a personal list, because
Sure.
I mean, again, I think everybody knows who some of the top ones out there are, the big names.
Sure.
Obviously, I think I think it goes without saying we got to put our buddy Urkel up there. We got to know him really well over the last 4 or 5 years, and spent a lot of time, especially after turn-ins, talking with him, and we would obsess over pictures of our boxes before awards just to convince ourselves that we either were terrible or we had a chance. And honestly, I mean, I was able to pick up so much feedback from him, just looking at my pictures and telling me, and kind of looking. I can look at a slice of brisket now and feel like I can tell if it's tender or not. Just conversations that we used to have, and he really kind of helped me get my boxes looking better, because his boxes were spectacular.
Yeah.
God forbid someone give that man an 8.
He would get an 8, and he would. I mean, he would get an 8 in appearance, and I told him sometimes, I said, I just don't. I think people think it's not real. It looks fake. It looks too good. It's too perfect.
It did. It really did.
Did he give him the Boston hello?
But yeah, definitely he'd be up there. I'd have to put Bill Gillespie up there for sure. Guys, he's a machine. He's so
good, such a nice guy.
Every weekend he's traveling crazy distances to get there. Yeah, the nicest guy. His wife's okay too.
Still married.
Again, love you, Sean, but yeah, they're great. We've gotten to know them really well. I took his class a couple years ago, and just learned so much from him. Still a lot of things that I do because I learned them at his class, and still, have conversations with him about that stuff.
He keeps things so simple and he still does so well.
And that's where kind of that was when I started kind of getting that, like, it can be done. It's like, wow, somebody else is doing it successfully. And he is definitely, I mean, once again, just killing it. I think he just had a first place perfect chicken at the Royal Oak. So yeah, he'd be up there. I have to think about this. That's tough. We'll put Pig and Whiskey as a team from their East Coast days, but individually, Brant and Josh, both again very talented, very good cooks, both doing very well as separate teams now as Pig and Whiskey and OG Bandits.
Right.
Have cooked with Brant quite a few times. Just cooked with Josh recently out in Kansas City, and just a lot of fun. Definitely put them up there. They've had a big influence on us in barbecue. So who would be fourth?
I don't know. I mean, honestly, like just
I know who I'll put fourth, and it's somebody that we spend a lot of Friday nights with late night, and that's Charles Cridlin with Wolf's Revenge. We find ourselves. You mentioned that kind of taking a bottle of bourbon over to somebody and maybe seeing if you could distract them. Charles is a hard one to distract. I think we've distracted each other successfully a couple times. Unfortunately, he tends to beat me when that happens.
Yeah.
I'll still have a good cook, but he just tends to somehow have a better cook.
We're not even cooking sometimes, and I show up and try, and he'll distract me. I'm not even cooking, and then he's fine the next day.
That's because he's a pro. He's a pro. He's a veteran.
Yeah. Charles is definitely a pro, but he's a nice guy. Charles has always been really nice to us, and I know people are gonna be mad. I've been leaving people off, but we have so many friends and so many great people around. And then I'll put it out there. My hero, though, Tom Bear, Philly Blind Pig. That's who I want to be when I grow up.
That's awesome. I know I've done that so many times with bourbon. Like I walk around, like people are like, "How are you still standing?" I'm like, when it comes to bourbon, I'm like, I was born in the darkness. This is in my blood. Like bourbon is like they teach us our ABCs and how to shoot whiskey. You know, it's how it is in Kentucky. But
I did get in trouble at a comp because I was taking around a bourbon cocktail, doing shots with everyone.
Good. Absolutely.
And the next we weren't competing. I was just hanging out with everyone. And then the next comp that we show up at, someone went up to Greg and was like, your wife got me drunk. She told me I had to take the shot. You're like,
I don't have no knowledge. I tell people like, was I drinking too? Because if drunk Logan and sober Logan are two completely different people. You know, like I'm not responsible for what he does, and he's not responsible for me. So
I'm just like, if you weren't drinking, then of course you were supposed to be. So it makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we need to introduce drinking more into competition, barbecue, because there's no good stories to start off with. I was at the library one day and I was reading me a good book. No one wants to hear that crap. Everyone wants to hear about the good fun stories that when you mix a little whiskey in it, fun stuff happens.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fun stuff happens.
Yeah.
Man, oh man, I love like what's the social aspect up? Because like I said, I'm coming from a backyard perspective, and like I always say, one thing I love about our backyard perspective down here is we're very close knit and we're very welcoming, and we still have a little fun because we don't have to wake up at 4:30 like you guys do to do brisket, and there's not so much we're not in the trailers at 7 p.m. or nothing like that. Like there's still like a nice social aspect to it. What is it kind of like up at like in Texas, like in the CBA? I think that's one thing. What reason why they're thriving so much is it's such a good time and such a good community and such a it's more of a party event.
Mm-hmm.
What's the scene like in New Jersey, like or in that area, in the Northeast in general? You're all known so much for all the wellness and the friendliness of the Northeasterners, especially in the Boston and New York time. So how does that translate into the competition barbecue scene up there?
Yeah, just a bunch of miserable assholes. No, everybody's nice. It's like anywhere else you go.
Honestly, it's one of those things that I think both of us was a bit surprised with, was the fact that we got friendships out of this.
Yes.
Going back to Pagan Whiskey, I called Brant a few years ago and I was like, hey man, there's a state comp that's doing a frog leg ancillary. Like this is like right up our Kentucky alley. Like
that's right.
Can we come and use your equipment and crash at your house? And we ended up kicking him out of his house, and he went to his mom's house. But
did you bring your own gig? Did you bring your own gigger? You're like, I got this. I got a weapon.
They supplied the frog force. We didn't have to gig for him.
Oh, that's not fun.
That would have been a blast.
SCA provides the meat. That's the benefit.
Oh, see, I want my gigger with a trident and the stab one.
Yeah, exactly. I used to gig all the time growing up. But
did you?
I did. I actually did. My
flashlight out. I know.
I don't know. Did you ever do? No, I did, but he didn't. No.
He was too busy tipping cows. That's what we did back. It's snipe hunting. Snipe hunting.
Yeah. It's the Harrison County. Hazard Boys apparently didn't gig. But,
That's right. But
it's awesome, and even at once Pig and Whiskey's branched off, and we have OG. Or
OG Bandits.
Bandits.
Yeah.
We've crashed at their house the time we went to Oklahoma, when we went out to the American Royal, and then we went out there this year and just hung out with them, so like the friendships that you get out of it. We have, being from Kentucky, our friendship group is barbecue, and we never cared whether you were backyard or if you're a pro, whatever. So we have the full scope of friendships across both. Okay,
so I'll be in the trailer prepping, especially early when we started. She would just wander off, and then 30 minutes later, she'd come yelling, "Get the bourbon! I got some friends." And
that's how you do it, man.
Show up with people, and that's how we started meeting people.
And then you'd be like, "Who was that?" I was like, "I have no clue. I'm drunk."
So, like I said, drunk Carl and sober Carl are not the same people.
That's true.
They're not responsible for each other.
But both Carls have fun.
Both Carls are fun. Everybody loves Carl. But no, absolutely, that's awesome. And that is, like you said, I tell my wife, I try to explain to her because she's not as involved. I mean, she knows my passion for it, and she encourages me and all that stuff. But she's not there day to day. Seeing my I have a barbecue family, and I truly do, and just like you guys do. And she don't understand. Like, I can go anywhere in this country, and I can have a grill delivered, meat there, and if I need a tire change, like I can just random people who I've never met before will show up and show out and deliver stuff for you. Yeah. And that it's just and they don't expect anything in return. And there's not many things out there that you had that sense of community and just friendship. I started off doing bourbon collection and bourbon stuff, and you meet some cool people doing that. But barbecue is just on another level when it comes to just pure friendship and pure community. So I mean, that alone, doesn't grow the sport, I don't know what will.
Yeah.
No, it's definitely. I mean, she wouldn't do it if she just had to sit and look at me the whole weekend.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
If it
wasn't having fun. Good luck on those boxes. He's made one box in his life, and it was horrible. I was like, "Did you ever see me make a box before?"
He's delegating. He's a delegator. he understands his roles, and he sticks with it.
Exactly. Thank you.
He stays in his lane. He's good.
Yeah. Exactly.
I know these things. I do the same thing. Yes, dear. I'm glad they made a barbecue sauce together because I was like, yes, dear. I say that all the time. Yes, dear. It keeps me happy. No. All right. So I would be remiss. Like, I want to say this towards the back. Obviously, I want to talk to you guys about the Jack Daniel's World Championship. So did you guys got drawn, correct?
Yeah, we got the jersey draw. Yep.
I got you. So let's talk about that because like you've been there 2 times now. I mean, both times are magical. I want to hear about your first experience at the Jack. Like, how excited were you? Like when you got your bung draw for the first time? That sounds sexual. You got your bung drawn. That's a move I saw late night on HBO Cinemax. No, wow. Sorry. That's why I'm not monetized yet. No, but like you got your bung draw. Like, what was the first experience you got? Like, you're like, holy shit, I'm going to the Jack.
So the first year we went, we got an auto, so we kind of knew. We didn't have the suspense.
Oh,
so
okay, you won. Okay,
yeah, we had a pretty good year or section of the year there. We won 4 out of 5 jersey comps. So we got the auto, so we didn't have the suspense of the draw day. But we went down there and cooked. Had a good cook. Ended up with a chicken call. I felt good about everything. And then I learned as they were calling pork, my lovely wife told me that we actually missed pork. We actually didn't turn it in. I thought she was joking. I thought she was joking. Apparently she wasn't. And
you're still married today.
I didn't know what to tell him.
Yeah.
He's always told me if I ever miss a turn-in to throw it away. But he never told me when to tell him. So I didn't know when to tell him. And that pork was really good.
She said, just always so you know.
You never miss turn-ins on a bad product.
Yeah. She said, just so you know, I just don't want you to get your hopes up because I know you thought it was good, but it didn't get turned in. I was like, oh.
I'm not really good with like the sugar coating. I'm pretty blunt.
It was tough. Yeah. That was,
you have more of a Carolina style to yourself. I got you. A little more vinegar base.
And the worst part is someone apparently told Brant, I don't know if it's true, but supposedly Brant says someone pulled it out of the trash because they saw me throw it away. And the cover's still closed. and ate it and was like, that was the best damn pork I've ever had. And I'm like, do not ever tell my husband.
No, it was terrible. That was the worst pork. It was terrible. You'd have lost.
I'm like, don't ever say that to him.
So we had a very quiet 14-hour drive home. Luckily, the best thing that happened was we had a contest the next weekend. So then we had a very quiet hour and a half drive. In the last 30 minutes of that drive, we finally started talking about it. We now have different time pieces in place and checks. And
oh yeah, no, there's a whiteboard on the wall now that has the walking times. We don't care about the turn-in times anymore. They're the 5 minutes before and 5. No, that doesn't matter. That has no bearing. It is the walking time of when we can arrive and when we cannot arrive.
Yeah.
Oh, fair enough. I didn't want to bring that up earlier. I was waiting until the end.
No, that's fine. Look, I mean, it happened. It is what it is. I wasn't.
It's just a Jag. It's no big deal.
I mean, it's just the biggest comp. My name is forever in last place at that, and it sucks. But
the only time though.
I wasn't like. I was indifferent. Okay, if I get back to the Jack or not. But then once we got the draw, I was like, okay, so I got to go and we got to make this better. No means saying that I was going to go down there and win at RGC, but I was like, we're going to turn in. We're going to turn in good food. This is I was, it was a little different this year. But
I was a little concerned by brisket. I was very concerned to what that 14-hour drive was going to be.
This year,
until we got the call.
I was definitely I was already planning our drive home as they were going through brisket. I'm like, we didn't get a call. Like, we're just going to be.
That's when you know you did good. That's what if that's when you know you're good. If you're like, this is trash, like you're getting calls.
No, I thought everything was good. That was the thing.
Yeah.
Like,
then you're screwed.
No, everything. That's what I think. I went in thinking, we've got a chance. We should get a call on something. Like, we've got a chance. We turned in really good food. And
then you're like, I'm screwed.
There were no second guessing, no regrets. Nothing happened during the cook. Everything went as planned, and there was no second guessing anything. Felt good, but then we just sat there the whole time, and it's like, okay, well, it is what it is. There's 90 teams. We just kind of got buried. Sure. It is what it is, and
sure,
yeah. And then
changed. That's right. So let's talk about. Let's kind of talk about. There's some people here that are not competition cooks. Like the Jack Daniels is the biggest world. It's the biggest contest of the year. If you're going to win one, that's usually the one that everybody wants to win. So you roll in. So you rolled in. I'm guessing Thursday down at Thursday in Lynchburg. So you roll in Thursday. And what is that? That's the cook the team cook or team meal or whatever. Is that Thursday or is that Friday?
No, that's Friday. So that's the thing. The Jack is nothing but distractions. Everything is there to mess up your timeline and your routine and make you uncomfortable. Because the first thing is the turn-in windows are off by an hour or a half hour. Sure. So chicken turn-ins at 12:30. That just messes with my mind because I'm so I know my timeline. I could read my timeline off to you right now, but then you cut off half hour. It's like, no, you don't need to. So
go recipes too. What's going on?
So Friday is the parade and the barbecue hill. So the parade starts at 5 or 4:30 or something. So that if you're one of those that injects or does something between 5 and 8, basically the Jack just don't do it. Figure out another time you can do it. Because you want to take part in those things because those are
absolutely
part of the experience. And that's the thing with the Jack is it takes more than just winning a GC. You got to get the draw too. So, and I kind of fought it the first year. It's I don't want to do all this stuff. And, we did it and I'm glad we did and glad we did it again this year. And, it's everything there is just to get you to feel different and not in your element, not, kind of so you really have to make sure that you focus and pay attention to what's going on and not let it kind of overwhelm you and stuff.
Right. And then you got So you got, the cooks meeting. I'm sure there's a lot of like co-mingling through everybody, the couple of days before. And honestly, the people that bring the biggest party are, let's be honest, the international teams. Those guys are there to have a good time and rock and roll and get the whole American experience. Like they're always my favorite people to go visit. So I went down to the Jack this year and saw, a lot of friends and a lot of friends of the pod and whatnot, introduced myself to a lot of people, and the international guys, the crew especially, they cracked me up. And they don't bring like one or two people. It's not like, two person teams. Like it's a posse.
Yeah, absolutely.
And dude, they like showed up and showed out this year when it comes to like calls. I was especially in brisket. Like I was very impressed that they're getting a lot better, because it used to just be. I mean, I feel like competition barbecue is kind of like the NBA. For years and years and years, it's an international game, but really the Americans dominate. Europeans now have taken over the NBA, and they're starting to, creep their way into the barbecue scene. Like they're cooking every bit as good as we are, and using kind of the same. It's the classes and stuff that's out there. They're taking the same stuff. I mean, I'm sure you can get some of these classes in Spanish and Portuguese and Dutch and whatever other language there is. Like, they can do the same stuff we do, and I love seeing those guys. Like every time like somebody from Brazil or something like that like gets a call, I'm like, yes, let's go. I wish they did walk up songs at the Jack, because it'd be like a Pujols is like walk up song in MLB. Like, I just want to hear like some just
yeah. No, that's one thing I wish, like, CBA is cool. They do the walk-ups. Like little things like that are a nice little touch to
absolutely
just make things a little more fun.
Although it does get a little confusing, because you're like, wait, what? Whose walk-in song is that?
I know.
What am I cheering for right now?
Yeah, exactly. So going into this year, the Jack, like y'all had a game plan. You cook, like you're like going into like, all right, I'm cooking like any other contest of what got me here, or do you like kind of doubling up? Like I'm cooking 16 legs this time. I'm cooking 25 legs, or I'm cooking 4 racks or 2 briskets. You cooking what brought you there, or like are you being super selected throughout the year in your meats? And
no, I mean I cook the same amount that I always cook. I cook the same products. I ordered ribs from Mr. Brisket for the first time, and I called him up because I'd never ordered before, just asked some questions, and
love Aaron.
Yeah, and he asked if we were going to the Royal. I told him no, but we were going to the Jack. He said, well, put in the note that ribs are for the Jack, and I'll see what I can, try to get some good ones. And yeah, I mean, he gave us some good ones. But we cooked our cook. Everything. I didn't change anything. I cooked the same thing I cooked. We cooked 2 weeks before that in Delaware. Same exact recipe, same everything. So yeah, I didn't change anything. I just was, we got a chicken call last year at the Jack, so I figured my flavor profile worked. That was kind of confirmation. We didn't score well in anything else, but we had an 8th place chicken last year, and so I was like, well, I mean, something positive coming out of it. So
yeah, I mean, going into the Jack, just to hear your name called. I mean, wouldn't you agree? Just to hear your name called, I mean, that's a win. I mean, if you had just got like an 8th place ribs this year, I mean, I'm sure you'd have been perfectly happy.
It was ribs?
No, well, but even, I mean, we went to the Royal, and all I got was a 4th place vegetable side dish. But, I mean, at least I got
that's a huge deal, man.
Yeah, I mean, you'd want to get more than a vegetable call at a barbecue comp, but it is what it is.
No, I got a 1st place baked bean one time, and damn it, I was ecstatic.
As you should be.
Look, it's about getting your name called. You just want to hear it at least once and something.
Exactly. No, man. So, all right. So you go through it. You got a hell of a cookie. Turn your proteins in. Are you kind of cleaning up afterwards? Are you guys hanging out, kind of just enjoying the whole thing before awards? Because the awards are long. Because like I started the awards started at 5, and they didn't like really get going till like 6.
Yeah, so we got pretty well cleaned up and started kind of packing away a little bit. We knew we were leaving the trailer there overnight, so weren't in too big of a rush. But we were pretty well set up, and then we learned from last year. We kind of went over there a little early, got some chairs set up, and then we were kind of mobile from there and just kind of wandering around talking to people, just seeing everybody and stuff. So that made that time go a little faster. Yeah, because it's a bit of a drag there, especially the bigger comps. They tend to drag a little bit and a little bit late getting started. So
here let's break down each individual protein. So in chicken, you got a call in chicken, right?
Not this year. No, this year we had a 23rd chicken, but it was 175.
Yeah,
so
crazy.
we were still up there. Yeah, especially that's the thing, though, those big comps.
Yeah, and then ribs, you didn't get a call, correct?
No call on ribs. That was our low score, which is natural. But again, it was a 172 something. So that's all I'm asking my ribs right now in this point in my barbecue life is a 170 or higher in ribs, and I'll be happy because
then you got a pork and brisket call.
We got a brisket call. So pork was 18th, but still was a 176 at 18.
I got you.
Yeah, and then brisket was the perfect.
I got you.
Which I always tell them that I give them a perfect box.
That's damn right.
First time he's finally repaid me with a perfect.
That's right. Every time.
He's given me some 180s before, but not perfect.
That's fair. No, that's fair. All right, man. Well, so then you hear your name called, and then so in your head, like going into it, were you kind of doing the math in the back of your head? You're like, all right, so like I'm in the hunt, like I'm top 3 maybe, or like
I'd say I got a little more energy in me because, like I said, I was already kind of feeling bad for myself, and you start thinking, you start kind of thinking, okay, so what was everything else? Like I kept just going back to, well, I was happy with it. So hopefully, if everything else was decent, like there's a chance, like we can be top 10. And they, and then as they started calling numbers, I started thinking probably less and less of a chance, honestly.
Yeah.
Just because we haven't done well in these bigger comps, even just bigger numbers sometimes. And it's
so
usually
just one call, right? One call.
Yeah. When they got to RGC, I thought to myself, I was like, especially when I heard when Bad Bears got a like 6th or something, because they had 2 calls.
2 calls, yeah.
That gave me a little confidence, honestly. I was like, okay, well, and then because I kind of figured that Kings was going to have GC because they had 2 calls. And then Cage and Blaze, I think, had 2 calls, and they'd gotten like 4th. And so it was starting to kind of maybe make sense that it could happen, but I still wasn't really expecting it. It still took me a few seconds to even realize what was happening and stand up. All of a sudden, everybody was standing over top of me.
I was up in your face before you were up.
Yeah.
Dude, that's amazing. So you hear your name, go out there. That's, it's got to be, obviously you want to win the damn thing, but that's pretty freaking awesome getting 2nd place.
He beat us by what? 6 points?
Yeah, he beat us by 6 points.
He laid the pipe that contest. For sure. He was the best cook there this year.
He did an excellent job.
I've definitely joked I've never celebrated a 2nd place so much in my life, but it was
it's a jack.
It's still a good 2nd, I guess. But yeah, I'm still like, I wish I would have won it, but of course, but that's what keeps me going in the competition, and everything I do is I'm very competitive.
Fair enough.
But yeah, I didn't expect that. I wasn't. Like I said, I knew we had good food, but I did not see that coming. So
all right. Well, guys, like I said, I know I've held you on here for a while, and I've enjoyed talking to you guys. I want to kind of wrap it up with a few little fun little questions. Don't necessarily have to do a barbecue, but something I always like asking my guests. You guys ready?
Yep.
All right, man. What is something you always had a barbecue competition and you cannot say your meat thermometer?
We mentioned it earlier, but probably bourbon, and more recently coffee, cold brew.
Oh, I gotta have my bubbly.
Oh, and champagne.
Yeah.
Fair enough. She's bougie. I like it. I like it. All right, man. We talked about earlier walk-up songs and how fun they are. If you guys could have a walk-up song at every competition, which one would it be?
Oh, that's easy. It's just them good old boys. Never
okay.
Dukes of Hazzard thing for sure.
Dukes of Hazzard, baby.
We do have an organizer that will sing it.
But yeah,
I like that. I thought it'd be
this week. Yeah, he's been known to sing our theme song if we get a good call. He hasn't done it in a while, so Jeremy, if you're listening, I want a song if we get a call this weekend.
Top Gun wants one too. Are they competing? Oh, they're not competing. Okay.
All right, man. Now that we're going into the real important questions, Kentucky, in the SEC, there's a lot of great theme songs throughout. Alabama has, Sweet Home Alabama. Georgia has, Georgia. Unfortunately, the Tennessee Vols have Rocky Top, which it's sadly a good song. If Kentucky could have a theme song, what would it be? What do you think it should be?
Well, as far as Kentucky football, we have a theme song unofficially. It's
Grove Street Party.
Grove Street Party.
The Grove Street Party, yeah.
We played that at our wedding reception.
We did.
Good for you.
We got married October 2015.
It's a party.
On a Thursday, because I told her, well, Kentucky doesn't ever play on a Thursday. Of course, that year they did. That was when we should have beat Auburn. And
who gets married on a Thursday to avoid UK sports?
Cam Newton beat us. We had him beat, and of course we Kentucky'd it. But we had
that is a verb and a noun and an adjective all in one. We Kentucky'd it.
But we played Grove Street at our wedding.
That's dope. I like that.
I'll typically get a Grove Street going at a comp. Just unpredictable, but typically, especially if Kentucky's playing that day, we'll throw a Grove Street in.
I like it. I really wish we had something fun, like Virginia's, or like an Inner Sandman, and I wish we had something of that magnitude. That's something we're missing. I think we need to bring to the party.
I agree.
All right, man. Last question, man. Let's see how true fan you are. If I could wave my magic wand and guarantee you a KCBS Invitational GC this year, or number 9 for basketball, what would it be? What would you pick? What would you rather prefer, number 9 or a KCBS World or Invitational?
Let's go with number 9.
That a boy.
Yeah, we need it. It's been too long.
That would make me happier.
Yeah,
that would make me happier. A number 9 for Pope's second season. Money well spent.
Yes,
money well spent.
it's we need it. It's time.
Absolutely. Well, guys, thank you so much for coming on the show, man. I truly appreciate it. I always love hanging out with my fellow Kentuckians. We truly deserve, basketball season more than anybody else in the country, because we know sorrow. And I am on top of it, not only a Kentucky football fan, I am a Tennessee Titans fan too. So I don't know what the hell good football is.
Yeah, that's tough.
Well, I don't know. Are y'all Bengals fans? Are y'all? Because a lot of like Northern Kentuckians are Bengals fans, and they're trash. Right. I hate the state of Ohio. It's like annex Louisville into the state of Ohio, and then just
push them on up.
Do it all that. So, man, like I said, thank you guys so much for coming on, man. I truly appreciate it. Like, we're fellow Good Charcoal associates. Check out Good Charcoal for the best charcoal in the world. This is a time of show where I like to give you for any shout out you want to have and let people know kind of where to find you and what you're about. Yeah. So you can find us Instagram, Facebook, Boggs Hog BBQ, and then sponsors. So definitely, Good Charcoal. That's all we use. A great product, great people, great company. Smoking Hogs, Bill Gillespie's rubs. So best good out there. Rib best rub, in the world. Perfect Storm, AP. I use all of them in all 4 categories. And then Chef Ray Sheehan, KC sauce. Check it out. He's a local New Jersey guy. He's got a full line of rub and sauces. Check them out. I use the KC rub or the KC sauce. It's good stuff. Humphreys, if you're looking for a new smoker, they make some good ones. They got the new hot boxes too, which are pretty cool. Check them out. Anybody else? All right. Anybody?
I'm sure we did.
All right, sorry. That's all right. All right. Well, before I let you guys go, we got to do one thing. Ready? L's down, baby.
Exactly.
L's down. That's right. Suck it, Louisville. All right, guys. Thank you guys so much, man. Y'all take care.
See you, man. Thanks for having us. Appreciate it.
Yeah. All right, guys, man. That's our show. We survived. Thank you guys that hung out for the long haul. I truly appreciate it. And guys, if you like what you saw tonight, make sure you give us a like, subscribe, follow. We're on all the platforms: YouTube, Apple, Spotify, Backpage of Maxim Magazine, whatever. Just wherever you like to consume your media. We truly appreciate you guys. And we want you to hang out with us. So if you want more content and see amazing people like we had tonight, make sure to follow us every week, Monday nights at 7 Central. So the true and only correct time, Central Standard Time. But all right, guys, that's our show. Next week, we got some amazing people. Can't wait to talk to them. Can't wait to see you guys. So and as always, when it comes to barbecue, make sure you're always right on key.
That's all, folks.